let's see. Usually I tell a joke, but I'm not sure if I have a joke tonight. I mean, I do, but I guess probably I'm not going to tell one. But it might just come out on accident. So I guess I'm going to tell you a story. Sometimes I talk about why I show up here, because there's a big part of me that kind of just likes to stay recluse and stay home, like the spider. Just like a person that kind of avoids people. But I'm trying really hard to get out and participate, and I want to tell you guys a story, and I hope you like it. It's a true story. Maybe you'll get something out of it. And that's one of the things that motivates me to come out here and share stuff with you, because you'll get something out of it. So it's not really about me, it's about you. So I hope you like it. And this one is called Sweet Tomatoes. Okay. So I live in an apartment, and we have little garden plots, right? So if you want a garden, you can sign up for one. So I sign up for one. I do it every year. And just a little tiny bit of backstory. I have these neighbors that live downstairs from me. There's 2 little girls that live down there. And I started doing art projects for them right after I first moved in, because they had a little bit of a hard life. Their mom would yell a lot, and I wanted to help out, but I didn't know just to like knock on their door and be like, stop yelling at your kids. I didn't think it would be very well received. And I've had a lot of yelling in my life previously. I had done some of the yelling in my life previously, and so I really related. But that's a different story for a different day. But I did do an art project, 2 of them, for them. So we have like this art history, you could say. Okay, so anyway, so I'm growing this garden, and I've got tomatoes in there. And I am eyeballing these tomatoes, okay? Because the year before I grew tomatoes, and I hadn't had a homegrown tomato in so long that I forgot what they tasted like. And if you had like store tomatoes for a really long time, and then you eat a homegrown tomato, you really wonder, like, what have I been eating? Like, what is that stuff I've been buying from the stores? Like, imposter tomatoes. So I was really excited for these tomatoes because it, had been a year. And they were getting ripe, and I was so happy. I was just like, oh, I'm going to get those tomatoes today. Woohoo! And so I go, like, out my door, down the stairs, and there's the tomatoes. You guys, smashed tomatoes. Those tomatoes are, like, smashed in the parking lot. They, like, everywhere. All my beautiful tomatoes smashed. And there's this little group of kids right there. And they had actually been known for getting into the gardens, and they had been getting into the gardens. And they even like made the newspaper. Okay, the newsletter. To like stop throwing the stuff around. So there I was with my tomato smashed. I was so disappointed, and I was like at that crossroads in my mind. Am I going to go anger, bitterness? Am I going to shame them? Am I going to carry that, like, so mad about my tomatoes? But I didn't. And I was right there, like, hovering, like, I could feel, like, all the different reactions all at once. And I just chose connection. And so I asked them, I said, hey, why do you, I didn't like accuse them of doing it. I just asked them, like, it was like a survey. And I wanted to know, why do you think that the kids would throw, the tomatoes everywhere? And there was like 5 of them. And one of the girls that lives downstairs from me, she like decided to be the representative of the group. And she said, well, maybe they thought you wanted them to have them. And I was like, well, if I wanted you to have them, don't you think that I would have wanted you to eat them? And she said, yeah, you're right. I said, well, are you guys like angry? Or are you bored? Like, do you need some toys? Like, what is it? And she said, oh, we're not angry. And that's why I said, well, are you bored? Like, do you need like a ball or something to throw instead of the tomatoes? And she said, well, I don't know. And then I said, oh, I have to go. And so there was painting class, because they started painting classes at my apartment as well. And so she said, okay, all right, see you later. And I said, well, think about it, because I want to help you to, so that you guys are okay. I just want to make sure you guys are okay, and then my tomatoes will be okay, everyone will be okay. And she said, all right, see you later. And so I was walking away, and she said, wait, I know, you can paint pictures of us picking the tomatoes, then we won't have to pick them, because we'll have the painting instead. and so that's what I did. And then all the kids wanted a painting. So now I'm like the person that paints pictures for the kids. And every time I see those kids, they're always smiling and waving at me. And it just became this point of happiness and connection and relationship. And I'm just blown away by the difference. Because you take that story and you take the facts of the story and the different ways that could be responded. Because if I'd have shamed them or just been super mad about the tomatoes, I would still carry that to this day. And if I would see them, I would have been thinking about the tomatoes and about how bad it was or angry that I was. And they would feel that way as well. But instead, that's my alarm going off. Yeah. If you just get it out of my bag, sorry. That's my new bedtime routine alarm. Sorry. But anyway, so now if I just wanted to share that with you to illustrate the point of how we respond to people can either build connection, build relationships, and create joy and happiness, or we can create bitterness and shame. And so now every time I think about smashed tomatoes, it makes me so happy. Like I feel that spark, that connection. And she always gets me painting. Like when I get in a slump, she'll always ask me for a painting, or the other kids will ask me for a painting. And so I just wanted to share that with you. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Keep it going for Linda, everybody. On deck, we have Angelo Flores, and coming up next, the great Michelle Redwine. Put your hands together, everybody.